Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. And I know people will probably start getting live as we go with this. I'm here at the Sharizadek Synagogue, accompanied by Mike Moroz, MLA of River Heights. Just River Heights
We're just River Heights.
for now, until they rezone everything again,
Yeah.
right? But it's a great friend of Sharizadek, and we are very happy to have Mike with us. And he's about to buy the Chametz from the congregants of Congregation Sharizadek here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And we have Stacy Bazak, which is the ritual secretary. She's going to be the witness for this transaction, which is ancient, and it was part of what we call the genius of the rabbis to find a solution for the chametz that we cannot eat or get rid of before Passover. So we have to do something with that, and I will explain in a minute what it's going to be. Everybody from Congregation Sharizadek who submitted a form authorizing me to sell their chametz. I have all your forms here, so thank you very much for doing that. I'm going to have it with me. And we are going to go right away into the selling of the chametz. The way we do it is I have a document that I'm going to read and explain as we go. And then if Mike here agrees with all the terms of this, all the chametz belonging to me and my congregation, or at least the people who send the form, is going to belong to him for the week of Passover. And after Passover, I'm going to do my best to try to buy it back. Please be nice to me.
I will.
Okay. So I will start right away because it's a 3-page document that I have to read and explain. It goes like this. I, the undersigned Rabbi Anibal, have sold to Mike Moroz. Are you a Jew?
I am not.
Thank you. A non-Jew, because basically Jewish people are not allowed to have certain food for Passover. Non-Jews, there is no restrictions, so we need to have somebody, we had no restrictions to sell the chametz. So from the hour listed below, you will see all forms of chametz. Now, what is chametz? Even if you know what it is, I have to explain it for this to be valid, okay? Chametz, it's everything that is leaven or food mixed with leaven that is prohibited during Passover. Now, there are some things that they are not technically leaven, but they are not certified for Passover. So for us, that's also chametz. So all that is included in this sale. Okay, so that is chametz. So also we sell everything that is suspected chametz, whether my own or that of anyone who has authorized me to sell their chametz. So I'm telling you mine and all the chametz of all the people who sent the form the weeks before. As detailed in the Shtar Harsha'a, that is a power of attorney, and that is the name of the form that people send me. Shtar Harsha'a means power of attorney, which has been given to me. Now, this includes whether food, specifically form of grain and flours, baked goods, and all baking ingredients, etc., or drinks, specifically hard drinks such as brandy, whiskey, cognac, bourbon, all varieties of liquor, and all forms of candy, chocolate, sweets that is not certified for Passover. So the chametz, which adheres to utensils, and this is fantastic. I'll explain in a minute. In containers or clothing, all animals, large and small cattle, horses, birds, and fowl, which feed on chametz. So that's the problem, because if we have animals, we have to feed them chametz. So what we do, we sell you the animals for a week, and then we are going to feed them with your chametz, with your permission. So we are going to be feeding you your animals. I don't know if it's legal in Manitoba to own that many animals. But and the chametz and chametz mixtures with which those who have authorized me have in partnership with a non-Jew, because sometimes people have chametz in an office or other places. So we sell you that too. Whether the chametz mentioned is truly their own or that for which they are responsible. So this shared ownership with non-Jewish people of the chametz is very common, for example, when a Jew owns a brewery or a distillery, right? It's very rare that they are the sole owners. of it. They usually have a partnership. So what we do is they are going to sell to you that ownership of that Chametz for the week. So then we can keep enjoying that brand of whiskey or bourbon or beer after Passover. Because we'll see that if there is Chametz that it was not sold during Passover, then we can never have it after. It's a restriction. So we have to be very careful with that. Okay, even if responsible only for negligence, where the responsibility is according to the Torah law or civil protocol, or by dint of lawlessness, whether the Chametz is with them in the house, in the attic, in the cellar, or in a factory or store, whether on dry land or the waters, whether in wagons or the railroads, or ships, or in airplanes. So because we don't know where people are going to be. So just in case, or sometimes what happens is, what if you ship something is coming to you and you don't know it, but it's Chametz and it's yours, you paid for it. So that includes, and this is going to be mentioned with more details as we go, but that is very common in these days. People put orders on Amazon and other places a lot, or somebody sent you a gift and it's Chametz, and you don't know that you have it. It's coming your way. That is sold to you. All such Chametz, as listed above, I have sold to the aforementioned buyer in complete and absolute sale without retaining any rights whatsoever. As regard the price of the Chametz as listed above, I came to an agreement with the aforementioned buyer that everything will be assessed by 3 experts in assessment according to current prices. Okay, so eventually all the Chametz that I'm selling you is going to be assessed. I don't know right now how much it is, because this doesn't include a full list item by item. Okay, so it has to be assessed. And in accordance with the assessment, the aforementioned buyer is obligated to pay the price after measuring such Chametz as is normally measured, or weighing such Chametz as is normally weighed. The assessment, measurement, and weighing will take place after the upcoming Pesach, Passover, may it come upon us with blessing. So we don't know how much it is. We are not going to measure it right now. After Pesach, we are going to complete the transaction by measuring all the details after. Okay. As regards the cost of the purchase, I will receive from the aforementioned buyer a total security of 20 Canadian dollars. And you're going to give me 20 Canadian dollars right now.
Right now? Yeah.
If you have there. Oh, look at you.
Look at this.
So, because again, we don't know how much it is.
Right.
So this is a down payment of $20. Thank you so much. And I established the reminder to be in the form of a loan, which a date of maturity not to exceed 1 hour into the 23rd day of the month of Nisan in the year 5785, that's the Jewish calendar, but that corresponds to the 20th day of April in the year 2025, and it's going to happen at approximately 9:20 p.m. after the measure and weighing take place. And I declare unequivocally that I have rented the aforementioned buyer my house, located at, I won't say it out loud, but you can see here where my house is, for him to store the utensils and movable goods as is the buyer's pleasure. It's yours. So this is symbolic. By renting you my house, I also renting you all the places where my congregants will have their Chametz. It's an all rabbinic way to do it by extension. I rented it from my house for him to store the utensils and movable goods. That is the buyer pleasure. Now you have to give me another $20 for the rental. But again, thank you very much. I don't know how many rooms I got, because again, it's not part of the document. So after Pesach, after the weighing, after knowing how much of Chametz they sold me, I also have to figure out how many rooms are included in this. This is just a down payment. Okay, so this is going to take place from the 14th day of Nisan in the year 5785, corresponding to the evening of the 11th day of April in the year 2025, until the 23rd of Nisan in the year 5785, corresponding to the 20th day of April in the year 2025 at approximately 9:20 p.m. And by dint of possession of the property rented to the buyer, I transferred the buyer the movable goods and mentioned above. And I have also rented to the buyer all the places where the aforementioned Chametz substances are for the sum of 20 Canadian dollars per room, but we don't know exactly. It's going to be 20 per room, but we don't know how many rooms right now. Now, because it's all yours, the aforementioned buyer has the authority to do with the Chametz whatever his pleasure, to sell it, to gift it, to rent it, to rent freely. And also the buyer has the authority to take home the aforementioned immediately if you want. What is the catch? Whatever you take, you have to pay for it. But even if the Chametz remains whatever it is now, from this time forth, all is within the responsibility of the buyer, and I am not longer responsible for it, including any unavoidable accidental damages. And the buyer has also agreed to accept the stipulation that if any loss of value occurs of how the loss of value occurred. And I, from my end, agree that even if the buyer does not pay the entire amount agreed to, as regard the sale price of the Chametz purchase, and for which I have made a loan to the buyer, nevertheless, the purchase of the buyer remains valid. Because the sellers listed on my Harsha'a on the forms have also authorized me to sell their Chametz, which was not in their possession at the time they authorized me to act as the agent in the sale, and have personally guaranteed me that this is their intention. Because there are times that somebody comes to visit you, they don't know about Passover, and they bring you a box of cookies or chocolates, and what do you do? Nothing, because it becomes yours immediately as soon as it comes to them. Or again, they put an online order, they forgot, and it comes in Passover, it becomes yours. Because they can't remember now, but it may happen. So they sever all connection with that Chametz, rendering it ownerless, as they do not wish to have any right to or acquisition of such Chametz, even after it comes into their possession. And these sellers rent to the aforementioned buyer all the places where such Chametz is brought in from transport from the hour listed below until the 23rd day of Nisan of this year. And the buyer will acquire this Chametz and do with it as it please. It's yours. Lots of Chametz. Lots of carbs. Regarding the container, this is interesting. Now, I sold you all the Chametz, okay? But what about the containers that they were in contact with Chametz during the year? In Jewish law, those are technically Chametz as well. Okay, the containers. But the thing is, regarding the containers in which there is Chametz, because we cannot fully clean it, it's impossible. There are always particles. If there are containers which require no tevilah, that is immersion in a mikvah, that is, I don't know if you've ever seen the mikvah.
No.
You should go. It's in the Asper campus.
Okay.
So, for example, when you buy new cutlery, you think you have to immerse it in the waters of the mikvah, which is rainwater. It's a beauty what they did there. It's coming through the roof, and there is a container. You should visit it, and then women go there after the period.
Okay.
And when somebody converts to Judaism, they go to the mikvah as part of the ritual. It's like a baptism.
Okay.
But so there are certain containers that when you buy it new, you don't need to take them to the mikvah. They don't need the immersion. So what is that? So for the containers that they require no immersion, that is like things made out of wood, plastic, paper, styrofoam, etc. Those materials, they don't. When you buy them, you don't need to take them to the mikvah before you use it at home. Okay. So these things, when purchased from a non-Jew, they are hereby sold to the aforementioned buyer. So basically, those doesn't matter who sold them to you. You can use them. Okay, so those things, if I have those things at home, I sell them to you, and then after Pesach, I buy it back. Not a problem. By the end of the acquisition of the aforementioned property, they will be assessed by 3 experts in assessment, as stated above. Now, if the container require immersion, and that is, for example, metal or glass, when you buy brand new pots, pans, cutlery, plates that are made out of glass, ceramic, metal. Before you use it for the first time, you have to take it to the mikveh, right? So if I sell those to you, when I buy them back, I will have to take them to the mikveh, right? It's a painful process. So those, I won't sell them to you. Rather, I loan them to you, okay? And it will be up to you if you want to remove the chametz from them,
Okay.
okay? So they are yours, but not as a sale, just a loan,
Okay.
until you remove the chametz. So then when I get them back, I don't have to take it to the mikvah. I have also transferred ownership of all the chametz and the places mentioned to the aforementioned buyer by virtue of the delivery of this bill of sale, now in his possession as proof of transfer of ownership. It has also been explicitly stipulated that there is any error in the names of individual or places as described in this list. I have given the aforementioned buyer the list which I have given to the aforementioned buyer. The sale is not thereby invalidated. Okay, so I didn't go through each one of these forms. What if somebody misspelled the name?
Yeah.
Or something like that, still valid. Or it's also valid, for example, if somebody mailed this to me, but I never got it, but it was their intention to sell it. So we make that valid as well. It is within the authority of the aforementioned buyer to carry out the sale, in accordance with the law of the land in all of the details. The financial consequences which emanate from such actions are the buyer's responsibility. It has also been stipulated with the aforementioned buyer that even if the document is binding only in Jewish law, as opposed to civil law, I don't know if this stands in law. We try to do it as detailed as possible, but who knows, right? Nevertheless, this sale of this chametz is valid, and should there occur any disagreement between the buyer and the sellers, we agree and obligate ourselves to litigate the dispute according to the law of Torah as interpreted by the Winnipeg Council of Rabbis. If you have any issue with this, we agree right now that first we're going to take it to the Council of Rabbis for their advice. What do we do now? Everything herewith stated has been thoroughly prepared in the most binding manner in accordance with the teaching of our sages. May their memory be blessed, and should not be regarded as mere rhetoric or perfunctory legal form. Witness this 13th day of the month of Nisan in the year 5785, corresponding to 11th day of April in the year 2025, at the approximate hour of 9:30 a.m. Pretty much, it's 9:22, here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Okay, so what we are going to do now is, before we sign, there is this old tradition to try to, seal the deal with different methods, because along history, people use different ways of sealing deals, right? So you gave me the money. That usually, payment is one way. There used to be another ancient way in Judaism, which was exchanging something that belongs to people. So we are going to do it with this.
Okay.
You're going to give me one handkerchief that is yours. Thank you. And as a sign of good faith and to seal the deal, I give you one that is mine.
Thank you.
Then we're going to shake hands, and we're going to sign with witnesses. So different ways that we do it. So this is my Hebrew name. Here. Here your signature.
Do.
Thank you. You take this home. You have to bring it at the end, and I stay with the signed documents, and that sealed the deal.
Fantastic.
So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my great pleasure.
It's this is one of the earliest records that there is within Jewish history that Jews and non-Jews cooperating, right? It's beautiful how even in times of persecution and everything, there was always somebody building bridges and helping each other. In this case, it's beautiful that you can help us celebrate Pesach, Passover, in a deeper way.
Oh, I'm deeply honored to be able to do it.
So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everyone who witnessed this online. Great to have you there. This is going to stay online so you can watch it again anytime you want. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Pesach Kasher V'Sameach.